The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
Hey, all you kids like to rock and roll. I almost forgot where I was at here today. Well, welcome to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends?
Between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
There, you got it. You were a little ahead on the draw there. Oh, so what do we have? A whole lot of nothing so far. As I said yesterday, we covered our short positions yesterday and probably going to wait around till at least Wednesday afternoon, maybe even to Friday before putting on the next position. As I said in my newsletter this morning, no position is sometimes a very good position. It's also a very valid position. And I just don't see a lot of risk reward, either the upside or the downside. Of course, everybody's talking about Facebook today. And, $26, $28 billion off in a couple of days. We've got the CEO, MIA. I heard he's hiding out behind the walls that he said wouldn't work in Hawaii in his home. Walls don't do any good, and then he promptly built walls around his house. Okay, so we know that a lot of these guys are horrible hypocrites, and for a lot of the positions I can imagine, you can make a fairly good case that these guys are in some ways even worse than the robber barons of the late 1800s of steel and of the railroads. They are acting a great deal like them. You could make a lot of cases for a variety of things. I don't know if there's much I can add other than the fact that a lot of these guys in Silicon Valley remind me of the Franklin quote, and that is one sheep and two wolves are discussing what's for dinner. Facebook is now the sheep in the wolves of politics, and I don't think that gets any better anytime soon. I don't know if that hurts the stock price. I think between yesterday and today, something has vastly changed, and that is that in leadership, you try to get out in front of everything, and hiding doesn't seem to be an answer. The FTC, of course, saying that they are now going after Facebook. There was I think we talked a little bit about this yesterday. There was a decree consent about them taking care of what they would and wouldn't do with their data. I think you can make a case that they violated that law in 2012, although no one cared because, well, if you own the Attorney General, nothing you can do is actually ever against the law, right? So they kind of skirted it in 2012 and 2016. Someone found a better way to make a better mousetrap, and now everybody's suddenly incensed in what the previous two elections, in fact, even larger, violated election law fairly easily. And I think they got their hands slapped, Facebook did, for it. So is it just the cows coming home to roost? I know it's chickens, but I like it. The cows coming home to roost. So you don't know, but could it happen to a better individual? Well, I think everybody knows that I thought that social media has been anything but social. I would say it's anti-social media. And for the better or worse, it has created a bunch of huge narcissists. And probably the worst thing, people that are famous for only being famous and not doing anything. I think Facebook has a lot of blame to bear for me knowing anything about the Kardashians or a host full of other evil or despicable or just infamous people that we shouldn't know about or waste our time with. But we shall see what happens in the near future. I thought that Silicon Valley as a whole has been going down the wrong road for about 2 years, and that is adapting their policies to please a bunch of folks. And doesn't it have to be probably the worst thing in the world that you're the biggest capitalist, biggest recipient of being a capitalist, but you have to espouse policies that are probably even farther left than Trotsky or a handful of other Soviet leaders? That's got to be a tough thing. From the Google folks taking their Priuses to their own airport that they bought to load up a 787 to fly 5 people to Tahiti. It's got to be tough to say that you think that the world is in trouble, and especially the environment, and then blow more gasoline than the average U.S. citizen will in his entire life flying in one flight. Well, hypocrisy is nothing new. It is just historically, I don't think anybody has made it rich or gotten any better off by getting in bed with politics. And I kind of thought, I couldn't remember which Scorsese movie it was earlier in the day, but it reminded me of, eventually I figured it out. There's a part in the movie where they get this guy that owns a bar kind of inside the mob, and then they basically run up all his debts and then burn the place to the ground for the insurance money. And I'm just wondering how close these guys are to following that same plot line, which is we'll burn the thing to the ground and use you all up at the same time. I think these guys would probably be better off leaving politics at the door and moving on. But again, 2 wolves and a lamb deciding what's for dinner right now with Facebook and the FTC. They've got no friends on the right, and now they've ticked off the left. I don't know where these guys actually go. Financial harvesting. Boy, Goodfellas is the name of the movie. Someone asked me that too. So basically all these the chickens are going home to get milked. Okay, we'll look at that, and we'll look at AKS in a minute too. For Hector. But we'll be back in a minute. We'll do a little bit of history, because it's a big day, at least tech history. And then we'll go on to charts as we wait for the FOMC meeting tomorrow.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Yes, somebody reminded me here in the email of the skewering. He was skewered on South Park. I think it was in the last season. And I think we all knew that it was starting to become a problem then. But if you haven't watched it, you can go to the southpark.com. I think it's southpark.com website, and I think you can see those episodes. But pretty interesting take from the South Park guys on Zuckerberg. And they were already after him back then, which makes a little sense, but eerily prescient. Okay, so what do we have going on today? Well, we're up 2 points on the S&P. Cash, NASDAQ's up 12. Dow's up 100. And again, I'm not expecting a whole lot. Expect probably the market to open up a little bit lower tomorrow. I'm thinking that this area in about 2,700 to 2,720 is what we're going to see through the next day unless we get some huge news. We'll look at some of the other stocks that have moved too. But I think everybody's just on hold waiting for the FOMC meeting and figuring out tomorrow whether or not after the statements we will be singing the Prince song, When Doves Cry, or I'm trying to find a Hawk song, although I have not found that out. Is there a good song with Hawk in it? In the lyrics? I know that I can pick the part out of Prince's When Doves Cry, but I'm looking for something with a hawk in it. I don't think hawks play a lot. I could Fly Like an Eagle with Steve Miller, but that's not it. We need hawks and doves. I got doves covered, so if anybody thinks of anything, that would be it. Yeah, South Park is yeah, it's an old. They're working out of an old Circuit City during the whole thing. Um, anyway, fairly interesting. Anyway, what else do we have going on? Volume basically came in at about 7 billion shares yesterday, so there wasn't a lot going on in that. But what can you say? Okay, let's get a little history, and then we'll get into some charts.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1800, scientists were fascinated with electricity. Ben Franklin had already conducted his famous kite experiment, drawing electricity from lightning in 1752. He stored it in a Leyden jar, invented in 1946, and could produce a spark of electricity after putting his kite up in a storm. Further research on electromagnetism of any practical use with electricity would wait yet another almost 50 years, waiting for a source of continuous current, which was not available until 1800. Alessandro Volta invented the first electric pile, which you know now as the battery, and the forerunner of the modern battery. But lead-acid batteries on this day in 1800 from a paper to the Science Society of Science in England, and they've got I'll find it here during the break. They've got a great YouTube channel where a guy comes in. I think it's called Objectivity. In fact, it is called Objectivity, where a guy goes through all the society's documents going back to the 1600s on science. Always highly instructive. I love that YouTube channel. But on this day, we have batteries, and we've been trying for 218 years now to make batteries better. The problem is, and I say this often, chemistry takes a lot of time and slow, and rarely do things get 2 or 3 or 400% better over a number of years. They get 2 or 3 or 4% better. They don't work like computer chips. Moore's law pretty much only works with silicon. Doesn't seem to do so well with lead and acid doing better. Okay, what else do we have? Nobody's come up with anything for a hawk. I've got that Dub's Cry thing. Let's go ahead and start looking at some charts today. AK Steel for our friend in California, to take a look at AKS. A good-looking chart. You would have probably liked to seen this thing hold $5. That it did not is problematic. I do like the fact that the volume's coming out here light, and you would want to see that candle of February 9th tested. It's got 21 million shares. Yesterday you had 15 million shares. Today you got 8.7 million shares. So you're kind of in that candle right now. But one of the better looking charts in that. Okay. So what do we have? That doesn't look bad. In fact, it's one of the better looking charts. In fact, I like the fact that it came down with a lot of energy, actually went up on the February 9th low up to the February 19th low with energy, and is now coming back on lighter volume. You just need a real test of that candle of February 9th. 21 million shares, you get 10 million shares. That's going to be a fairly decent pattern for AK Steel. And it's one of the ones that I like to play. That does come in with light volume and doesn't do anything. That is the kind of pattern that doesn't need particularly a lot of consolidation. It should just turn with a V bottom. If volume starts picking up into the 15 million share range, then maybe it will go sideways for a while. But a fairly good looking chart. Thanks, Hector, for pointing that out. Somebody sent me something, found this on YouTube, but didn't send me a link. I'll search for that during the break. He could have knocked me over with a fender. He was watching me like a hawk. I'll get by hook or ladder. Oh, okay. They're all mixing metaphors in the tiger's den right now. Okay, let's take a look at the big mover today. RCL, which is Oracle, earnings after the bell last night. This thing's been in a big trading range. Didn't do so much when I was first watching it and they came out with earnings. This thing really got hammered after the earnings call. I know that on Thursday that the CEOs, I think the co-CEOs, Mr. Hurd, who used to work for HP, and Safra Katz, I think both of them are going to be on CNBC on Thursday. I don't know if that sets up some kind of low with them talking nice. Kind of weird to see that they gave, are going to give a whole 2 days between the earnings call and when they actually come out to defend the stock and company on Thursday. But just know that give this a day or two and watch for maybe some breaking news on Thursday.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And see, we have first question is Micron earnings on Thursday. Things look pretty good. They've released Intel, both Intel and them have released their new MEM resistor memory technology. They're starting to finally get some, how can I say it, some support for hobbyists and workstation support for that new movie or new memory standard. We've been waiting for it for a while. It's about 10 times faster than current memory with additional support that can get up to 1,000 times faster. And one of the biggest bottlenecks in all the computers, of course, is memory. Intel is doing a lot of work to really help that out and design new processors that can use this memory. Anytime you are an engineer, you find out that it is very much like souping up your old heap of a car, i.e., if you build a bigger engine, you need a better transmission. If you need bigger transmission, you need a bigger rear end. You need better, stronger tires, and of course, you're going to go faster, so you need bigger brakes. And, you know, it's a vicious circle of that in engineering, and that's really the effort that Micron and Intel are working on right now, which is processors that have always worked with memory that was, we considered it fast, but compared to the memory that's literally in the chip, extremely slow because of the way things work. Now they got to figure out a way. It's kind of like a big town, and suddenly a little garden community, you know, the population goes from 100,000 to 1 million in 5 years. How do you put in all those roads quickly to let people get in and out of the town? And of course, the town has to also be able to handle 1 million more people living in around it and in it. So you got sewage and electric and everything else. The ripple side of this is fairly large, and why it takes a lot of time to roll out new technology. Memory use has just gone up. Could this be overpriced? I think it could be. For me, I would love to see this thing come back to 50, so I have an opportunity to buy it. Memory demand has been fairly good. So the only thing I can think of is this thing's literally overpriced, which it seems like it has been for a while. And of course, a lot of this ramp up has been built on the fact that these guys do have new memory technology coming out that will pretty much destroy all of the competition. Not Intel, HP was the only one that had been really working on this as a product, and really nothing's come out of those guys any more than some announcements that they might have some technology. Other people have been working on some other stuff, but certainly being first to market is going to be a big deal on this. Now we look at Intel, who's the other half of this new memory paradigm, and they're kind of holding out this $50 level. They spiked $49.93 yesterday. Volume really didn't increase. I'm just wondering if I certainly, if I was long, I would probably sell MU and hope that I got a pullback, but I tried that before. I bought it down around $9.65 and never got the pullback on MU that I was hoping for, and it just continued to run. What else? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, things are good at MU. We can just hope that if you're not already along this thing, that you get the pullback that you like to see it. And there'll be some growing pains with the new memory, but I think it's both Intel and MU are going to continue to make a lot of money off this technology that really nobody else has. So we'll see that. Okay, do we have any other emails? Like a Hawk from Wine Sky on YouTube. I tried to listen to that during the break. Didn't seem to do a lot for me. Got those two done. Someone wants to have me take a look at IBM and quantum computing, which they're talking a lot about. I just haven't seen anything that looks like it's a product within 5 years. And that's the real problem, is that IBM needs to kick these quantum computers out and start making some money because not much else is doing, and they fired everybody they can. Your bounce off this 144.40 low from February 9th continues to be weak. I would say your best hope is to test the February 9th low of 144.40 yet again on lighter volume. You're not that far away from it, but I think you got to test that low before I could touch it. I certainly do not like a lot of these stocks that had off those February 5th through 9th lows has had very light energy coming up. Now, this one's heavily shorted, so is it probably going to go down very fast? I don't think so. It's probably going to go down slower. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always post a message in the Tiger's Den. Okay, let's take a look at some other stocks of interest. Haven't looked at Facebook today. Just didn't think that there was an issue for this. Volume is about what it was yesterday. In fact, it's over yesterday's volume already. So you've blown through the lows of 165. That opens up the lows of around 150. Although my guess is that we probably have some kind of fishing expedition on this in the next couple of days. You did get down to 161.98. We're back closer to 165 now. But you know, is that 161 kind of going to hold from September 25th of 2017? Well, you had 41 million shares. You already have double that. You've got 2 huge days. You've got 2 huge gap downs. And I would say don't touch Facebook flatly. But if you had to buy it, what would you want to wait for? Well, you've got 2 big gaps. And when you have these, like day 1 and day 2, what do you get? You normally get a couple of days sideways and then gap down 3. And that would be probably where some at least temporary low would come in for Facebook. If you're long this thing, just know that most likely in the next few days, you probably get that 3rd gap down. That 3rd gap down would probably take you to 155, I'm assuming. Somewhere in that range is where support will be from the, what is that, May 4th. June 9th and June 23rd of 2017. That right in that area is all those highs that you're probably going to 155, 156 area. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks. Would you like exposure to the foreign currency markets without any downside risk to your principal? Then consider the Petro Currencies Market Safe CD from Everbank. This 3-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD leverages the performance of 4 equally weighted currencies from these top oil-producing countries: Brazil, Canada, Mexico, and Russia. This CD features a 200% leverage factor, which means that your potential upside payment will be double the currency's average performance at maturity with no cap if the currencies increase in value over the CD's term. And if the returns are negative, your principal's 100% protected. Returns are based on CD performance with no correlation to the price of oil, and there is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. The April 19th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a division of TIAA FSB, member FDIC.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Got a question about driverless cars. What do I think about them right now? And I would say, you remember a movie called Death Race 2000? That was like John Carradine back in the 70s. I think that's when it was. That without actual drivers right now. Will they do pretty good? They will, but there'll be edge cases. I know that I've heard some stories that are fairly interesting from hackers, especially around Silicon Valley, about what they're doing. And they're putting cardboard cutouts in front of the cars with no drivers in them of people, and it's recognizing them as people and won't drive over them. And it just sits there. And so they're running around with any kind of one of those historic cardboard cutouts of people that they can find and plugging them in front of the street and stopping the cars. There's always the unintended consequences of new technology. And my guess is you could probably see a lot of hackers trying to crash cars. These are the same kind of people that aim lasers at airplanes, at airplane pilots. There's just going to be a handful of these people that do silly stuff. But between that and being able to set off the sensors on the bumper, I think there's going to be more than a handful of people that are going to be able to snarl traffic at will. And these things are going to probably have to get better. So far, no one's really attacked the system very hard because there's not that many of those cars out. But as soon as those cars become ubiquitous, I suspect people will be making ultrasonic beacons to set off the bumper alarms. They will be putting cardboard cutouts and painting the sides of buildings black and just watching the cars pile into them, which apparently is a thing. You can't, driverless cars really can't tell what's going on when it's black. They just assume that the road goes on. And someone painted a building black and had 2 accidents already where the car drove in to the side of that wall. But we shall see. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can put a message in the den. What else did we have out here? There was something else I was going to talk about. Oh, yep, let's get to it before I go too much further. And that is Mule, M-U-L-E. This one popped today. Is a buyout candidate from I'll get to the Dropbox IPO to. MuleSoft is a company that makes a thing called the AnyPoint platform, and Salesforce CRM is looking at buying them. And it's going a little farther. What these guys do, because someone asked me about it, is what is an API integration suite? These guys make a system for writing software so that whatever the device is, however it works, you're able to write software that will work with all those different devices. So their software is kind of a framework. Think of about it like scaffolding around a building. They make that scaffolding very easy to build different buildings of different sizes, right? It's not just one fixed size, and that's it. If you're doing something on a tablet or on a mobile phone or on a computer, you may have a lot of different capabilities for that underlying hardware. And what these guys do is let you write a single API or applications programming interface. And that way you can call the software with a unified interface. If you put a car out for just about anybody and told them to drive it, they get behind the wheel, they figure out that there was a gear shift to put it in drive, that the wheel turned left and right, that there was a turn signal on one side and a wiper on the other. Pretty much standard stuff, right? Everybody understands the standard interface. Well, in software, that's a lot harder to do. And if someone gave you sticks like a tank to drive a car, or sticks like a bulldozer, you'd probably take a little while to figure it out, and that's what an API does. It makes sure that you can hop behind the wheel and fairly easily understand how to control the software on the other side. So you kind of make a central code base that anybody can call. Anyway, that's why Mule is jumping today on CRM. But this would add for Salesforce a way of structuring APIs for all the different stuff they do. They've been a fairly decent performer, bounced a little bit on earnings back on the 20th or 18th of February, and now the buyout comes. So I think we can kind of see the writing on the wall. Where did the founders of Mule work before launching Mule? I do not know. Maybe I'll check on that during the break. Maybe you know. I do not know. All I know is they've done it. Okay, what else do we have going on here? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay. Okay. So anyway, we've got that. So let's start looking at some other charts. Aaron's Rent, I've been watching this one. It has broken its previous high with almost no volume. Energy up to the high. Wasn't that bad. You had a nice gap up on the 15th of February with some volume, 2.8 million shares. My guess is that, yeah, about $45 range is where this thing is coming back to. It's just you didn't really have a lot of juice into this break of the July 31st high. So I'm watching that one. ALNY, which is 2 million shares a few days ago. Yeah, 1.9 million shares on the 13th. You spiked it again today with the 600,000 shares. This is the November 2nd that we're challenging, 147.63 on Allium Pharmaceuticals, ALNY is the symbol on that one. Energy was not all exciting from the February 9th low either. So we're starting to see a lot of these stocks hit highs and come in it. Question about the Dropbox IPO. And What do we have? You know, they can't make it along. The question is, why do they want to go public? Maybe so people have to pay up for it. I just don't see it as a company that can last by themselves. They got to be bought by somebody. And I don't know who that somebody is, but I think it's going to be overpriced after the IPO. We'll be back in a minute.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
You don't buy into that nonsense, do you? You know you can't time the markets. I didn't. And in 2006, I set out on a mission to do just that. I began by surrounding myself with the greats like Tom O'Brien, Larry Pesavento, David White, and Basil Chapman. I read countless books and even looked to the moon and planets for answers. Now, we both know that trading is 80% mental, so I learned the exact tools that Tony Robbins uses to overcome fear. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability. And last March, the folks at Timers Digest began tracking my newsletter signals, which through January 18, 2018, placed me as the #1 gold timer for that exact time frame. Now, I can't officially be recognized until Timers Digest has a full year of signals, but clearly I've learned how to time the markets, and I'd like to teach you how to do that as well. Subscribers to Mastering Probability gain access to my live and archive workshops where I show you the exact same patterns that earned me this #1 ranking. If you're looking for great market calls and an education, sign up for Mastering Probability today at TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Anyway, we're talking about the Dropbox IPO. I don't understand the IPO because I'm pretty confident the guys can't make it alone. So why go public other than to cash out? And that seems probably okay. And I'm sure that the folks at on Wall Street probably not going to say a great deal about it. Which brings up a whole thing, which is we probably can't say enough, especially to new traders, and that is the business of Wall Street is to push paper out on the unsuspecting public for the most part. At least that's what they think their job is. It's not to make you rich. And I kind of saw this the other day when Morgan Stanley got fairly high and mighty on Qualcomm. These guys are kind of up here. Anyway, they in one of the worst bad mouthing of any companies I've seen in a long time, Qualcomm. These guys downgraded them 3 times in a week. Things bouncing around $58. And the question is, Morgan Stanley was going to represent, or did represent, Avago on the buyout. So with a $80 billion to $120 billion buyout, wouldn't that have been something like $1 billion or $2 billion from Morgan Stanley? I don't know, maybe the other people behind it, because it never got out into the public. But normally when I see people squealing this loud, it's because their ox was gored. One of the things that may happen for Qualcomm is you may get a fairly decent price on it. They do and will control the next evolution of LTE and speed. And I think Morgan Stanley just kind of alligator tears out there because they're not making a big wad of cash on the Avago buyout. Just a thought. So when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.